I think we have had a bias towards the personal and away from the social. So what does this mean for us? What does it mean to be a citizen therapist in the age of Trump? And so this is where my career is heading now. A citizen therapist works intentionally and skillfully with political and public stress in the therapy room. That's the core, a core of this. But a citizen therapist also, if you want to go the full 9 yards here, is involved in some way in community engagement. And that's not going to be for everybody. Some of us are more extroverted and enjoy that than others. And I'm not the first one to talk about social engagement, community engagement. I mean, we have a long history. I mean, Salvador Minuchin is here getting an honor. He was doing this in the 60s and 70s. I mean, among my short list of people who I admire who've been out there doing this kind of work are Ken Hardy and Jack Saul, Mary Jo Barrett, Jay Lappin. So I'm not the first one to talk about this. But what I'm saying is that I think the age of Trump is giving us all an opportunity to not just say that engaging with the public is only for a small group of people who like that kind of stuff. So what I'm doing, and then I'm going to talk about what I'm doing and opportunities for those of you who would like to get involved in this. So what I'm doing in my community are political stress workshops. And people, and these are with churches, with civic organizations, where people come together, actually a medical clinic, I did one of these workshops, where they're quite participatory, and I've written these up, and I'm happy to share them, where people first say why they came, and then we have a little time like you all had here for people to share what the stress they're experiencing is. And then I ask people to say how they are coping, and then they share that, and then I give a short presentation on what we know about political stress and about coping. And what people go through is this like road down, 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 up as they listen to one another, and then I kind of bring it home at the end. And people leave with a better sense of how they can cope. I've done workshops for parents in how to talk to children about Trump and his supporters. Okay? So this is obviously at a liberal church, where parents are realizing that they're not helping their children if the parents are agitated all the time. You know, 6-year-olds think that the president is like the super parent. And so how do they help children preserve some sort of buffer around this dangerous world while also engaging them? And then a kind of a culminating experience a couple months ago in Ohio. So I've been working with a group out of New York called the Better Angels Project, and we arranged a dialogue in Ohio, in rural Ohio, between Trump and Hillary supporters, and we spent a weekend together. Friday night, all day Saturday, and Sunday afternoon, 13 hours. And the goals were to see if we could understand our differences better. There's a term called achieving disagreement, where you actually understand the other side and you know where you differ. So understand each other better, to see if there's any common ground. And if we achieved both of those, did we have anything to say to our fellow men and women in this country? And so I'd like to have the slide of that group. There they are. And I'd like to say that we had an intense and profitable weekend. We came up with a report that is out, and NPR did an hour-long show on what we did, and 2 of the people from that group were on there with me. And I want to just share some of what we said, and everyone signed this in the report. We are 21 residents of Southwest Ohio. 10 of us supported Donald Trump for president, 11 of us supported Hillary Clinton. But we're also more than Ohioans, we are Americans. We are more than 2 groups who oppose each other politically. We're also citizens and neighbors who shared feelings and much in common with one another. None of us, as a result of our conversations together, have changed our minds about which candidate for president was the better choice in the 2016 election. But we have changed our minds at least a bit about each other. We learned by talking to each other that we aren't as divided as we thought, and that we aren't as incomprehensible to one another as we thought.